Jon Bernthal returns as the Punisher for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Bernthal has joined Tom Holland in Spider-Man Brand New Day, the latest Spider-Man movie from Sony and Marvel. Destin Daniel Cretton, that's tough, is directing the feature, which will shoot in England this summer and has a July 31st, 2026 release date. Much of the movie remains shrouded in mystery. Movie rumor websites have listed upwards of a dozen possible villains, from crime bosses to alien symbiotes, who could appear in the future, as well as a couple of different versions of the Hulk. Interesting. How many versions are we talking about? Is Red Hulk going to make an appearance too? Because I do remember the Hulk announcement from, what was it, last month, I think, said he was going to be in there. And I also remember a rumor surrounding a potential villain that could possibly be the main antagonist of the film, and that this potential villain has the abilities to potentially bring back the real Hulk that we haven't seen since Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, I hope they bring back regular Hulk because this smart Hulk shit has gone on long enough. Because especially after She-Hulk, I don't want to see smart Hulk ever again. Yeah, I found it crazy that in Avengers Endgame they didn't even show the progress of Bruce Banner fixing his issue. They just, 5 years later, and then all of a sudden he's this new Hulk. This new character. He fixed all his problems during those 5 years. All the 5 years that you didn't get to see, he fixed that problem. Yeah. Um, no, turn it back, change it back, because no, it doesn't work. And it hasn't been working. All right, and this article is from the Hollywood Reporter. It continues by saying the only clear thing at this stage is that Zendaya and Jacob Batalon are reprising their roles as MJ and best friend Ned. Although how substantial those roles will be remains unclear. And Stranger Things star Sadie Sink is the big new addition so far. The story takes place after the events of the previous movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, in which the entire world knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man and then had that knowledge erased. Yeah, I'm hoping they stick to that for this movie. Currently, there's been no announcements of Benedict Cumberbatch coming back as Doctor Strange, so that's good news for now. Hopefully, that continues to be the case, and they just leave it alone. All right, I want to see some actual consequences here. Like I want to see some actual follow through. If you catch my drift, yeah, I need them to follow through with this. Having Bernthal as the Punisher seems to point to a slightly more grounded angle on the story, as the character hails from the gritty street corner of Marvel's universe, and in the comics at least, uses fists, knives, and guns to tussle with bad guys, rather than spells or fancy tech. But hey, having him square off against a rampaging Hulk could be fun too. He's not beating the Hulk. He ain't even beating Smart Hulk. Like, no offense to the Punisher, but damn, he's just got guns, man. He's not beating the Hulk. If Sam Wilson couldn't beat Red Hulk, what makes you think the Punisher is going to beat the regular Hulk? Bruce Banner. Hey, that's not happening. That's not going to happen. That would be hilarious, though, seeing that. Bernthal first showed up as the vigilante Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, in Marvel's Daredevil Netflix series, then starred in his own series that ran for 2 seasons. He recently returned for a few episodes in Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. Yeah, not a few, two episodes. Marvel is betting on more Punisher and Bernthal in the months and years to come. The character is set to return for season 2 of Born Again, and Marvel is bringing Bernthal back for a Punisher standalone feature on Disney Plus. Bernthal is co-writing the latter. Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew about the standalone, but I didn't know he was co-writing it. Curiously, one non-negotiable he had for his return to Daredevil was maintaining the character's violent R-rated feel. Yeah, so and the fact that he's going to be in the Spider-Man movie, I hope that they they continue on with that. Obviously they gotta tone it down slightly because it's a PG-13 movie, but he still needs to be killing people. It will be interesting to see how that translates into into the more kid-friendly tone of the Spider-Man movies. Like I said, that's gonna be interesting. Like I said, hopefully they follow through. Bernthal and Holland have a charmed history together when it comes to Marvel. The duo were working on the 2017 feature Pilgrimage when prepping to audition for their Marvel roles. The actors helped each other with our audition tapes. Yeah, I do remember hearing about that. I do remember hearing that they helped each other with those auditions. So, hey, good for them. You know, and it just talks about uh, Bernthal's other movies. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, this is from the Hollywood Reporter. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Um, yeah, I'm excited. And again, going back to the main villain of the movie, Mr. Negative was the villain in question. If I didn't mention his name prior, he has the abilities to potentially make the real Hulk come back. I forgot exactly what his powers are. I do know they. I don't know. I forget what his powers are. Let's see. Okay, so he has the power of the Dark Force, which gives him mind control powers, a healing touch, ability to switch between reversed and regular appearance. Ah, interesting. Okay. But yeah, the mind control is probably gonna do it because if you remember in Age of Ultron when Wanda took control of Bruce Banner's mind and he was rampaging as the Hulk and Iron Man had to stop him. Probably a similar thing could happen again with this. I'm here for it, and hopefully that's a long-term consequence. Like hopefully that stays permanent, really permanent, because like Smart Hulk didn't work. He worked for Endgame and really Endgame alone, but after that it just didn't work. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm liking all the news announcements so far for this movie. Hopefully I'm looking forward to the first trailer when it comes out. Hopefully they have a solid story, and curious to find out who the main villain is actually going to be. If it's Mr. Negative or if it's somebody else. It'd be interesting to see. And considering the release date change of this movie, I think it got moved a week later from its original release, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was originally supposed to be released in July 24th of 2026, and it got moved 1 week later to July 31st of that same year. So yeah, and I think Doomsday was supposed to be before this movie, and then it got moved to December release. Very, very curious to see how this all plays out. I'm positive that all three of these movies are going to perform well in the box office.